Namaste. When we want to control our mind, it is very important to understand how mind controls us. What are different tools with the help of which mind controls our body, our emotions, our thoughts. In my previous video, I talked about how mind is created, what are different parts of mind. In this video, I am going to focus on the tools with the help of which mind controls us. I come across numerous people who claim that they cannot sit without television, mobile, internet. They start getting bored. In the same way, our kids, they also need gadgets to keep themselves busy. And this is a very grim situation when we hand over ourselves to a lifeless object and we rely on something which doesn't carry intelligence, consciousness, and that is the biggest defeat of the humanity, because we are slave of our minds, and mind will always find out an easy way because it is not trained. That's why it is important to train our mind so that we can make use of our mind and not get used by our mind. In my previous video, I said that as mind is a field in which thought generates, and as we know that mind doesn't have any physical significance, then how does it controls our emotions, our body? Mind controls us through our brain. Brain is a very complex structure in the human body. It consumes about 20% of the energy that is required to run this body. Brain communicates with different parts of the body through nervous system. It can send instructions. It can get information from any part of the body. So it is good to understand how brain works. Brain has different parts. Each part has its own function, such as occipital lobe is responsible for your vision, parietal lobe is responsible for your sensory information, temporal lobe, in which hippocampus resides, which is responsible for recognizing a person, recognizing a thing, recognizing an object. But the most important, which I am going to mention here, is frontal lobe, which is responsible for language, social connection, taking decisions, problem solving. All those information is resided in the frontal lobe. And these frontal lobes are made of billions and billions of neurons. Neurons are cells. Neurons are a specific type of cells which creates a very complex network in itself, and they communicate with each other to pass on the information. It has different parts. It receives the information and then it gives the information to its neighboring neuron. And as I said in my one of my previous videos, that mind is a field in which thoughts generate. Thoughts generate, the neurons interact with each other, and a small electrical pulse is created. As the number of thoughts gets increasing, the size of the pulse also becomes larger and larger. And it becomes so significant that it can be measured from outside of your brain. There are devices which can measure these pulses. Electroencephalogram, which helps in measuring these pulses. So based on the intensity of these pulses, the waves are categorized in 5 different categories. First one is gamma waves, which is very high number, and it can produce 32 waves to 100 waves in 1 second. This type of brain waves are common in scientists, authors, musicians, those who are deeply involved with their thoughts. Their brains are hyperactive. The second category is called beta waves, beta brain waves, where actually we all work in our daily to daily life, such as eating, drinking, meeting with friends, going to office, working. And 13 waves to 32 waves are created in this band of brain wave. Third type of brain wave is called alpha brain waves. when the brain is very calm. Number of waves generated in this category are from 8 waves to 13 waves in 1 second. This is the band in which you find your mind very calm, relaxing when you listen to soothing music, or when you relax yourself by guided meditation. Fourth category falls under theta waves. Theta waves are that category of our brain waves in which hypnotherapist can extract the information from your subconscious mind. This is the band in which you start dreaming, you see vivid imagery, you have intuition. Those who meditate, they must have gone through all this. And the last but not the least, delta brain waves. In this category, our brain produces half wave to 4 waves in 1 second, which is actually the state of sleeping when you are not dreaming, or the deepest state of meditation. So these are 5 different categories in which you can measure the activity of your brain. And when you measure the activity of your brain, you can understand how much your mind is active at that moment of time. It is calm, or it is too much active, or it is less active. Stay tuned for my next video on how to control your mind. Thank you so much.